for another night of game development. I am your host as usual. There's not really anybody else who hosts this, so I don't think anyone's surprised. But anyway, so I did confirm uh, earlier today that the setup that I had is working. So just so everybody knows, if you look at the bottom of the stream page, basically the page that you're watching this on, if you're on Twitch, there's some stuff at the bottom that I added. And so first you've got the welcome introduction. You've got the countdown page and the Twitter feed, but there's also some other stuff, and I'm not actually sure you can see it or when it might pop up, but basically I've got an integration with what's it called, Streamlabs, and the idea is that for every 5 minutes that you watch the stream, you will get a gold bar, and you can trade in those gold bars for cool stuff, and you might need a Streamlabs account to exchange for the rewards, but I'm not sure on that yet, but you're definitely getting them, because I saw that people who had shown up to last night's stream had gotten their gold bars. I don't know if they know that, but so if you were watching last night's stream, you probably have some gold bars, probably less than 10. Well, definitely less than 10, because I know, but it's interesting because it allows me to see who was actually watching for how long, but that doesn't really matter to me. The thing is that you guys get fun rewards for for paying attention, basically, and that if you do accumulate enough gold bars, you can actually trade them in for a game. So at least that's what I'm hoping. So anyway, and by hoping I mean it's ready to go. I just hope people actually get enough gold bars to do it, because it costs 1,000 gold bars, and so it's going to take a while before you can get there. But if you consistently watch the streams, then yeah, you can basically earn your way to a free copy of any game that we make, basically. 1,000 for a $1 game. I'm thinking of adding more levels for more expensive games, but we don't really have any more expensive games right now, so it's kind of pointless to add it in. But once this game comes out, let's say, then we'll have a $10 game, probably. I'm thinking of $10 as the price point for this game. So, and we'll definitely be making some, plenty of other games. I have some ideas for like some $5 games that we could make. I don't know. I think with all the content that's going to be in this one, $10 seems like a good price point. Anyway, that's just my rambling. So, we've got a number of things that we could do today, and actually I'm going to pull up my checklist of things, if I can. Right, so because there's a lot of stuff that I came up with ideas for. Okay, so here's some ideas. I would like to be able to see the temperature that the level has, so that you can see the rate at which you are taking damage, basically. So that seems like a good thing to start with for tonight. Let's see. So we got the graphical user interface right here, and I want to add a meter. I want to add text to it. No, shoot, it's not the meter. Wait, is it? No. It's the, call this backheat. Okay, backheat because it's the backside and this is the heat. Anyway, I want to add it to this thing because it's part of the heat. So anyway, let's do like that so the text is centered, and then maybe put it up like that, and then we'll add an outline to it. And that looks horrible. You can't read it at all, but going to change this. So I want to change the actual text to be like this, and then I want to change that to be like that. And or do I? Maybe I want to do it like that. I'm not sure. Because I want to do it like 32F. Actually, well, that's a good thing. Like, it's a good thing to ask ourselves. Do we want this to be in Fahrenheit or Celsius? I guess there could be an option for that in the player settings. See if the temperature, or we could have both. But since I'm American, I'm going to go with 32 Fahrenheit for right now. Maybe we should just make it white so we can read it. Anyway, so for those who don't know, snow begins to melt when the temperature rises above 32 degrees Fahrenheit. So as long as it is 32 Fahrenheit, then Snowball should not be taking damage. And we could probably make it so that Snowball takes damage proportionate to, well, that's what I want it to do, proportionate to what the temperature is. So let's jump in the code, and I want to make it so that each level, I mean, I guess we can just put it in the game controller for right now. But there is a public int, let's say int temperature. So I'm gonna say it's 32. Well, actually, oh, here we go. Right, because 0 is Celsius. So the freezing point of water is 0 degrees Celsius. So we could do it that way if we just say 0 is, yeah. Yeah, 0 represents the freezing point of water, and 100 represents the boiling point. So it's very interesting. The only problem is I don't know, because like if something is 1 Celsius, or if one thing is like, if there's a difference between 2 points and it's 1 difference in Celsius, that's more than the difference that it is in Fahrenheit, because you're trying to encompass a wider range of numbers in Celsius than you have in Fahrenheit. So I don't think about this. So the melting point is at 32 Fahrenheit, but it's also at well, I guess, yeah, if it ever rises above 0, then you would begin to melt. So you could say that 0 is, you really could just say that this number is the exact amount of damage you're taking. Actually, I mean, that's not a bad idea. So I guess we will go with Celsius then, because it's going to represent the exact amount of damage that we're taking pretty nicely. So at 0 degrees Celsius, you don't take any damage. At 1 degree Celsius, you take 1 damage, and so on and so forth. So I guess that wins. Anyway, so temperature is going to be like that, and we're going to have to have a reference to the text. So public Unity Engine .ui .text temp text, I'll say, and we can go back in here, and let's go ahead and make that reference right now. As soon as Unity loads it up. Temp text. Okay. There. And I guess we'll have to prefab this, because I made changes to it. That's weird. Why did it do that? That's strange. Okay. Alright, well, whatever. Um, so we'll go back in here now, and let's set the temperature text. So where's the beginning of the level? Right here. So every level is going to have its own temperature, but we'll deal with that later. We'll do temp text dot text equals temperature, and we'll say temperature equals random dot range 0 to 10, I guess, for right now. Or whoops. So whenever we begin a level, it'll just give us a random temperature, and it's completely meaningless basically. So we're gonna have to take this temperature, and when Snowball takes damage, we're going to add that in. So damage, well actually we don't want to do damage player, we want to do, where is it? Okay, apply temperature if not in super mode. So we will do damage player, game controller dot instance dot temperature. That's really not the best way to do that, but it works for right now. So let's see what this is. Can I type int to a string? Game controller 117. Oh, right, I just had to type dot to string. So this is an int, can't do it like that, gotta do to string anyway. So let's go open up our one of our levels, I guess. Or actually, we can just do this. We can do this and do this. And we've got our title screen back, so let's just make this happen. So we will just select a level, like this one, for instance. And we've got, oh man, we're dying really quickly. Look at that. Okay, but it's working. So every time it starts with the level, we get a random temperature, and we have to survive with that. But what we want to do is get it so that the temperature is based on the level, or even, not even based on the level, but based on maybe the surroundings that are in the level. So you could have some really hot spots in certain areas of the level, and then the temperature changes like that. I think that would be more than cool, no pun intended. It would be exactly what we want the game to be. It would basically be the whole game mechanic. So let me think. Right, so I want to reduce the amount of damage that you take. Let's multiply that by or divide it by a factor of 10. Okay. So we should survive 10 times as long, which really, when I think about it, isn't that much longer. Yeah, we're still dying very quickly. Yeah. So we're gonna go back in here, and we're gonna, I say let's reduce it by another massive amount. Okay. Okay, so there's a heat of 7 right there. Temperature of 7. And it's going kind of fast, so think I'll do one more. 0.0001 F. I think that's 1/10,000th. So 1/10,000th. Okay, yeah, now we're barely taking any damage. Look at that. I think that's too small now. Well, I don't know. About at 9 Celsius. Uh-oh. What's going on with that guy? Item spawner. Line 80. What? Oh, I bet it's, yeah. Yeah, I guess, okay. I guess that's not set. That's not good. Prefabs, yeah. Oops, I forgot to set that. Just drag it up there and we're good. I don't know what that's supposed to be. I guess we'll get rid of it. If I don't know what it's there for, we'll just remove it. Hopefully we don't need that. Anyway, I think maybe that's I'll increase the temperature a little bit, but it's not bad. And then as you go through the game, you can get more heat resistance, which means you can survive more. But if you're playing without heat resistance, then 3 Celsius should kind of start to melt you. Yeah, like that seems pretty good. So for 3 Celsius, that's what it's going to do. Like, you don't really have to worry about it damaging you. It's not really that present. Yeah, it's very, very slowly doing it. So I think that's pretty good. And then you can just, grab that, and then you're all the way back to normal. So it's not really that big of a deal. There's an abundant source of snow and coldness, cold temperatures. So okay. So now, obviously, what we want to do is change the temperature based on where you are and what's around you. So probably the easiest thing to do is just make things like temperature zones that whenever you're within them, you change the temperature that's changed. So whenever you enter the zone, the temperature becomes a different number, basically. And it doesn't matter what happens when you're out of the zone. It just matters what's in the zone. So let's go to this level just for testing it out. And let's go ahead and make something identical to the level bounds. And the reason I'm working on this right now is because, the later levels obviously should factor in temperature to some degree. So we'll call this a temp zone. Let's shrink the size of it. It's like 200 maybe, I don't know. Okay. Okay, so anything right there is going to be a certain degree Celsius, and then over here it's going to be a different one. So let's do like temp zone. Oops. Zones. Yeah, that's pretty good. So what we'll do is we will we'll have to make a script, unfortunately. We'll just call it a temp zone. The script won't do a whole lot, but it will have to do something. So we'll have public int temperature, and when we go to snowballs script, say trigger enter, else if other.gameObject.tag equals temp zone, let me capitalize it, then other.gameObject, well actually, game controller dot instance dot set temperature other dot game object dot get component temp zone dot temperature. So that's all we're doing. And so now we have to do two things. One is that we have to set the temperature. So we'll do public, oops, that's wrong. Public void set temperature int temp temperature equals temp, and then temp text equals temperature dot toString. Naturally, I forgot to do this. We need to add the C for Celsius. So we can also go back up here when we initially set temperature. And we can just do this. Set temperature 0, I guess. It could be 0 at the start. Well, I guess that's another issue in and of itself, is what should the starting temperature be? I don't know. I guess we'll just keep it 0 for right now. But that's going to be a problem. The only way to get around that is if it's on trigger stay instead of on trigger enter. But I kind of don't want that function to be called constantly because it doesn't need to be. So we'll do set temperature 0. Then the other thing that we need to do is we need to go here and we need to actually give this the right values, basically. Oh. Whoops, there was a slight mistake here. Set temperature, temperature text, dot text, equals that. Okay. So we'll add a tag, temp zone. We will go here and we will tag them as temp zone. This temperature here will be 0, and this temperature here will be, let's say 9, just to test it out. And it should work automatically, pretty much. So temp is 0, as you can see right there, the bottom left. And clearly you're seeing we're not taking any damage either. come down here, and suddenly it's 9, and we are taking damage. So, and then when we die, it resets back to 0. So, now I'm pretty sure this is not going to work, but what if we change this to 5 instead of 0? What happens? Oh, that did work. Well, then we're good to go. All right. Perfect. That's excellent. So I don't have to worry about that. I guess on trigger enter is called when the scene starts too, because we entered the thing. Like he spawned with inside of it basically. So I guess that counts as entering. So anyway, so now you can see we have different parts of the level that can be different temperatures. So I don't know how we want to deal with this in the future. Like if we want, say, oh, that's still not right for some reason. What the heck? Item spawner 73. Game controller dot instance dot prefabs. What? Oh, that's stupid. It's because the that is really strange. I guess that didn't apply to yeah, I guess that didn't apply to the prefab when I changed that. So I need to drag this up here. Okay. And let's go back down here and prefab it again. I don't know what the word prefab means or where that comes from. It's a strange word. But I mean, I know what it like signifies within Unity. It means it's these prefabricated object. I don't know. That's the best I can come up with, but it's a strange word. Anyway, but see, like, what the heck is with this? Now it's not a prefab anymore. Like, did it just break? Like, what's the deal? It looks like it just broke. I don't understand why it's doing that now. It's very weird. Can I hit apply? What does that do? I don't know. I don't know why it stopped. I don't know why it stopped being blue. It's weird. I kind of hope that doesn't mess anything up too badly. But oh, is it because this thing isn't there? The script isn't there? Whoops. Shoot. Game controller 1. That was an accident. Shoot, and that's an accident too. Are you sure you want to replace the contents of the prefab with game objects that are not entirely inherited from it? I don't know what that means. Yeah, it's replaced it. I have a backup. Alright. I guess it's blue again, so I guess that's good. So I guess if you have a script that doesn't exist, when you try to make a prefab out of it, it doesn't allow you to do that, which is interesting. Anyway, so we got this temperature working, and what I want to do is, like, what I was about to say was we might want to have certain, like, more specific changes to the temperature rather than just entering and leaving zones, but I can't really think about all that right now. We got the basics down though. So what happens if we go into a level without temperature zones? What happens? Is it just at 0 degrees Celsius? Probably. Yeah, it is. So that's what it is. I still think that the background looks really cool on this, although it probably looks, I don't know, it doesn't look very laggy on the stream right now, but it probably is. It'll probably get really laggy once you start moving around more. That's funny. Okay. Okay, so all these guys are broken now because I changed that. That's kind of amusing, but not at the same time. So the sprites are different, but I think it's also because I changed the I don't know. Okay, so it's this guy. How can we get him moving? Just like that. I don't know. I guess all their velocities got set to 0 or something. It's really strange. Oh, I bet I know why. Because those are inherited now, I think. Well, or are they? No, they're not inherited. This is the one that doesn't inherit. That's weird. I don't know what I did to them. Anyway, I'll have to revisit that and all these other levels. So, okay, what's else on the list? Turning the temperature up to turn ice into water. So that's an idea that I had for a level where you have to intentionally change the temperature so that the ice melts into water so that you can swim through the water. I don't know about that right now. There's a power up that restores the mid-air jump and allows you to chain them together. I think that would be a cool one to do. So let's get like some sort of area I can mess around with like this. Yeah, this level right here is perfect, I think. So we'll just remove this penguin for right now. I'll prefab him just in case we accidentally lose him. But that's the penguin we made last time. Sort of. He still has some issues with the way he walks, but so I want to do a certain power up. Like I said, when you touch it, it restores your midair jump. So let's do, I don't know, let's just make it a regular ball, I guess, for right now at least. Okay, and now what I want to do is get a circle collider, 2D. Decrease the radius. Now we will make a trigger. And I wonder how many tags we can have, because I'm running out of room for them. Maybe I should call it a power up, but then make sure that the name is a certain thing. Well, I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, so I am checking for that. Uh, else if other.gameObject.name equals I don't know what to call it, mid jump maybe. We'll need to come up with a name for that. Then we'll say double reset double jump. That's exactly what we want to do. Well, that practically wrote itself. So we need to give this the name of mid jump, and I think we're actually good to go. It's pretty fast. So let's try and jump into it. So first jump, double jump, and there we go. So it restored our double jump. Now what I don't want it to do is to destroy itself. So let me just go back in here and destroy, and destroy there. I don't want that to destroy itself, the double jump. Okay. I don't know what these objects would actually be in terms of the game. Like, I wonder if it's hard to see on the stream. That's not really. But like if I do, and this is going to be rough because it's like when you copy and paste, it adds that to the name, so that's annoying. But anyway, we should be able to do something crazy like this, where we can chain together a bunch of jumps. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to use this yet, but oh darn it. But yeah, it's like, I think this would be really cool if you have to do like a platforming section where you can do this. I think that'd be really cool. You have to just do that a bunch of times. And then you start making these things move like back and forth, so you have to do that. Like that's just a level. That's a level right there. Maybe that should be one of the mountain levels. Because we've got the workshop and we've got the level. We've got the workshop level, the mountain level, and the glacier level, and the tundra level, and then the Krampus level. So what's the double jump yellow circle about? It's pretty straightforward. Like I was just kind of explaining. You jump, you use up your double jump, and then you get your double jump back from jumping into the circle, and then you can jump again, and you can use it to chain together so that you can just like keep going back and forth, like so you can like keep climbing really high. So I think that'd be pretty crazy, basically. I mean, if I'm thinking about it, well, I don't know. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. So what other stuff can we do? That's off the list now. I had an idea for a level where like there's a bunch of fog everywhere and you can't see the path that you want to predict. That predicts your line. So like in this future level, well right now, okay, that's a problem. I need to get the red line working. Where's Snowball? Red line needs to be in the foreground. So okay. Anyway. But basically in the future level I was thinking that the white line, like there could be a level where you don't have the white line, which should really screw you up. So you have to kind of use your actual best judgment in order to do that. So it would basically be like this. We just disable that. Yeah, you just disable that game object and it'd be something like this, which would be kind of crazy. I wonder if this could just be a whole game mode in and of itself, where you just have to shoot like that. It really changes the game, that's for sure. But I was thinking at least one level where like this is a gimmick. Or maybe there are certain zones that do that. So similar to this thing, whenever you enter the zone, it takes it away. Whenever you leave the zone, it gives it back. So that's probably how we'll do this. So we'll duplicate this thing. So let me prefab it though. 0, 0, and prefab. Okay. So let's rename this guy to call him Fog. Well, really what we want to do is we want to take the temp zone. Let's sort of use that, I think. Of course, I didn't make that a prefab. Okay, well. Let's go back to that level that had them in it. Okay, so it's all the way over there. Bring it here. So we'll do it like this. If you enter this zone, then you can't see your line. So, and if you leave it, then same thing. So we'll do new script, I guess. Fog. I'll do fog zone. Okay. So again, if you enter the fog zone, well, wait, do we even, no, we don't even need a script for this. What am I thinking? We don't even need this. Goodbye. You can just delete it. I just need to change the tag. I hope I can have more than 15 tags. Okay. Fog zone. I feel like there's going to be a limit on this very soon. But anyway, this changes to a fog zone. And we'll go back here, snowball, and else if other.gameObject.tag equals fog zone. I'm going to change this line. Maybe it's prediction. Yeah, prediction dot gameObject dot enable or set active false. Okay. And we'll do it on trigger exit as well. And I'll make it true again. So when you enter the zone, your line disappears, and when you leave the zone, it comes back. Very simple. But it should be an interesting idea for a level. Right, so the line is here. Let's go in the zone. and line's gone. Go back out the zone, and it's back. So we can have like a misty forest or something like that. I was thinking like a misty mine, like an old abandoned mine shaft, and you've got like, anyway. So that way you can't see where your prediction path will go. You have to kind of figure that out. Okay, so those are just some game ideas. Let's see, what else is on the list? Certain enemy ideas I had thought of. I'm not sure I can really implement them because I don't have the sprites for them just yet. And so, and I don't quite understand entirely how they're going to work, so I don't want to implement something that I don't understand yet. Oh, you know what we never did was losing money when you die. We never implemented that. So might as well do that now. So the question is, do we want to try and leave the money actually physically in the level when you die so that you can try and pick it up later? Or is it just lost forever? It might be kind of hard to do that. Let's just do this one at a time. So whenever you die, we'll just remove some money. So it'll take like 5 seconds. If I can find it. Kill player. Okay. Game controller dot instance dot add coins negative. Well, here's what it'll do. I'll just say lose coins. We'll make a lose coins function. So we'll do public void lose coins, and say total coins equals total coins times 0.75. So you lose 25% of your coins when you die. Maybe that's a little too much. I don't know. We'll lose. How about you just lose 10% of your coins when you die? So, and then coin text. Text. Oops. We'll just copy and paste this. And then I guess we'll save. Okay. Yeah, save the changes to the coins. So that should work. We'll have to go into the title screen, I think, in order to save the changes, or to play it that way. Float to int. Oh, right, I just need to, yeah. So we got 90 coins. So let's go ahead and die a few times. Actually, let's see if we can get 100 coins. No, we can't. Okay. So we'll die. And we lost 80. Okay. I guess it rounded down because we lost 9.5 or something like that. Yeah, okay. So we lost 9 there. And we lost 7 there, which makes sense. So it's rounding down. So that's fine. Okay, so that was fast. Yeah, we will make the no sight zone foggy. I don't know the best way to do that right now, and I don't want to do it on that test level because it's just going to be a bunch of particle effects and stuff like that. So uh, what else is on the list? We've hit switches before. Let's see. I thought about maybe like locks and keys or something like that, but I mean, it's technically not very different from hitting a switch. I had the idea for balloons that pop when you land on them, so we can try that one. That seems pretty easy. So what I'm doing is I guess I'm just gathering ideas for potential levels that I can do for the second half of the game. So, and I'm implementing the mechanics for them before we go into designing the actual levels themselves. So the fog zone, we can prefab that. This mid-jump thing, I'll duplicate it. I'll make... Let's pretend this is a balloon. And I'll increase the alpha. Okay. I don't know. I think of balloons are like red balloons, but it's going to look like it's a fireball. So maybe we should change that. Well, okay, any color looks hot, though. Like, it's actually... The hottest color is actually like a white-blue color. Which is interesting because people think hot stuff is like red, but anyway, light blue is actually more hot than red. But anyway, so we're going to change this to a balloon. And yeah, so we're done. No, we're not done. So we're going to untag that and we're going to add a... Actually, I don't know how I want to do this. What's with the... What did we do for the bounce pad? Because it's basically just a bounce pad. We had a zone inside of it like that. So we had a launch pad. I think we can just copy the launch pad script and then edit that. So let's see how this works. What I want to do is I want to have a bool for public bool burst. And so basically, if we burst, then we destroy this .game object. So very simple. Actually, what I want to do is probably destroy self, which, and then we just do public void destroy self. And then we can add any sort of crazy animations that we want to add into that later on. So anyway, that's just a step that I do. So to save time. But yeah, we can just check the box to burst the balloon and probably just prefab it like that. It's probably gonna work. Oh, shoot. Well, I don't know. It's a trigger, so we'll see what this looks like. Yeah, I mean, that kind of worked. But the problem is, though, we actually don't want to... Well, I don't know. Because if you hit a balloon from any angle, it probably will burst. But interesting. Maybe I coded it so that it has to come from the top. Oh, no, because it was a trigger before, so it worked. Okay, I got you. So, okay. So because the collider is inside of this thing, we're going to need to bring the collider back out. Point to 8. Or maybe it does need to be a trigger. I guess it must be. Alright, fine. You win. Okay. So we'll go with that. But problem is we don't want it to always like bounce you up. We only want the velocity to take effect if you're like coming on it from above. So we'll do if bounce if other dot game object dot component rigid body 2D dot velocity dot y is greater than 0. So for I guess I think it's greater than 0. If we're coming down upon it, then it'll be greater than 0 or less than 0. But if we're jumping on it, then we will bounce ourselves upward. It might be less than 0 actually. Yes, okay. So I'll change it to less than 0. Oh, right. Oh, darn it. Trigger. There we go. So that bounced us up high in the air. Maybe a little too high, I don't know. But just so we can see the difference, let me put this guy right here, and so we can kind of see how high we actually get. Okay, that's not bad. Maybe it could be a bit smaller though. I don't know. Not as high up, I guess. But basically, that's the idea of the balloon. I think probably it should be based on. That's too little. It should probably be based on the amount of force that you put down on it in the first place. I don't really know how to do that. Actually, no, I know exactly how to do that. Okay, because we can get the velocity.y right here. So all I need to do is just let's see. Let's add a bool, public bool, relative. So we'll say if relative, then we do this, else. So it'll be twice the length of, or twice the force of the velocity that you came down upon it as. So you'll see what I mean. If it's relative. If that relative box is checked, and we'll make sure that it is. Right, so let's do this, and then we'll do something like this. Just to show what happens if we come upon it with more force. Right, so we fly up really high. So that is kind of exactly what I wanted. Maybe that's a little too much. I'll make it minus 1.5 instead of minus 2. Yeah, it's better, I think. Anyway, so that's that. So we got the balloons working. It's interesting. I just noticed the word balloon has the word ball in it, which is interesting because balloons are round like balls. But then that makes me wonder where the un part comes from. Like the ball un. I don't know what that would mean. Anyway, let's see. We've done landing in water. I haven't done conveyor belts. I don't know if we need conveyor belts though. Just like, I don't know. Maybe we do. Maybe it would be fun to have a conveyor belt. I don't know. I mean, because it is Santa's factory, and factories have conveyor belts in them, so Santa would probably have a conveyor belt in his factory. So let's try and create a conveyor belt. This is going to be tricky though, because like it's going to need to have an animation, and first off, I don't have an animation ready, so we're just going to pretend that it's a conveyor belt. And I guess the basic idea is that you're standing on a surface that's not actually moving itself, but it moves you when you're on it. So this will be the belt, and we can just get up on that belt, and then I mean, I think that's all we have to do. So let's just name this conveyor. So we'll do moving. No, I'll just make a new script. Conveyor belt. Okay. So we'll do it like that. And I do actually kind of want to pull up the moving platform just to see how I did it there. Oh, moving platform is totally empty. That's funny. Okay. That's pretty funny. I wonder if that's used anywhere. Interesting. Okay. Anyway, let's see. We're gonna need a public vector2 movement. So that's going to be the thing that tells us in what direction the snowball should move. So, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go to snowball, and I think okay, standing on. This is the problem. So I don't want to get this confused with oh, I know what I can do. This is really really strange, but I think I know how to do this. So we're gonna add a private rigid body 2D body to the conveyor belt, and then we're gonna do public void start, and then we'll do body equals this dot get component dot rigid body 2D. And then what we're going to do is we're going to say body dot velocity equals movement. Now you might think that it's going to fly off, which it would, but if we go up here, or actually down here, and we'll say body dot is kinematic equals true, then it can't fly off. But the body's velocity will still be changed. And so when Snowball checks to see if he's standing on anything, he will be standing on something, and it will have a non-zero velocity. So that means he will be moved along with it. So we can apply the effect of the moving platform without actually making the platform itself move. So I'm pretty sure that that works. Let's just vertigo. So like, let's make it like, I don't know, 2. And it needs a rigid body, so. And gravity scale is going to be 0, angular scale is going to be 0, and I mean, it's going to become kinematic as soon as that happens. But anyway, it should work. Spelling conventional in 1517C. English to add emphasis to borrowed French nouns ending in stressed. Splatoon after. To add emphasis to borrowed French nouns. Huh. Interesting. Alright. Oh, duh. Wait. Wait, what? Oh, does it? That's weird. Is it because it's, does it work now? Yeah, that works now. Okay, well, that's not good. So the collision doesn't work unless it's simulated. What is this? Use full kinematic contacts. I don't know what that means. What happens if this hits the balloon? Absolutely nothing. Maybe that's something that we should fix. If something else hits the balloon, I don't know. Maybe it shouldn't be something that we fix. Like, what if it hits the balloon and, I don't know. Maybe that's something to put on the to-do list, though. Like, what happens if something hits a balloon? And then maybe a balloon generator, like it comes back if it's destroyed or something. So this didn't quite work out as I thought it would. I mean, there's definitely ways to do this. It's just not convenient anymore. Oh, and that has to be a follow path anyway. We'll forget about that then. What we'll do is, let's see, when does this become a reference? So we might have to add a conveyor belt, private conveyor, and then we'll just do if conveyor is not equal to null. Like, I didn't want to do it this way because it's really inconvenient, but I'm not sure it's possible now. So we'll do conveyor equals g1.collider.gameObject.component conveyor belt. And so also this way, by getting the conveyor belt instead of just the velocity, we can actually do things. If, like, let's say the conveyor belt changes its velocity, so if it like goes left and then right and left and then right, then it will affect snowball accordingly. So we'll do same exact thing except movement. I think that's everything we need to do for that. Then I need to come back out here, and this rigid body is not going to matter at all anymore. So I can remove that, and then I also want to remove it from the script. So I'll just remove all that mess nonsense. Don't need that anymore. What's this? Actually, wait. I was getting some error here. Snowball 531. Oh, whoops. Copy and paste problems again. G1 should be G2. G1 should be G3. Anyway, yeah. I believe it should work when we start this back up. See, there we go. So as simple as that. We can turn up the speed as well, and we can reverse it. So there we go. There's our conveyor belt. It just doesn't actually look like one, but it is one. So all we need left is the tile set. So hopefully our graphics person will be able to make a tile set for the conveyor belt and the rest of the factory / workshop. Anyway, we do actually kind of have one. I don't remember where I put it though. Uh, oh yeah, okay. We could do that right now. I found him. Okay, so, or did I do that already? Did I already import it? I might have. Let's see. No, I didn't. Okay, I'll do that real quick so we can make this at least look like one. Gotta go to my GitHub folder, Snowball folder, and then resources, materials. Then I gotta copy and paste. Yeah, that's what I did. I did the what's it called? The crate. I thought that was the fact or the workshop. Workshop fill and workshop edges. And I also need the terrain. Yeah, glacier terrain. I need to change it to workshop terrain. And we'll import those real quick, and then I also gotta grab copy and paste. Actually, let me pull up the paint.net screen if we can. Yeah, okay. So this is the first thing, and this is the second thing. So gotta cut that out, and then I got to. Actually, I don't want to cut that out yet. Put that back. I need to go to the old texture file, copy and paste it. We'll do workshop fill and workshop edges. Okay. So now that's when I cut these, and we'll go here, paste over the paste them over. Do that, get rid of them. Okay, and there we go, done. And same thing with this. Just take this, paste it there, expand the canvas. There we go. We're done. Okay. So back in Unity. Let me grab this thing, and then we're going to go to materials, and workshop terrain. We'll use workshop edges and workshop fill. Workshop fill, not to be confused with Dr. Phil. We'll use that texture, and then workshop edges, we'll use this texture. So if we go to this platform and we drag, how do we do this? Go here and select the next terrain. There we go. Okay, so that kind of works. What's going on in the middle? Oh, I know what it is. Gotta go down here. We gotta say repeat instead of clamp. There we go. And still doesn't look like a conveyor belt, but it does look like the inside of a factory. So Santa's workshop, or Santa's factory workshop. I just wonder if the bricks should be smaller. Or bigger even. Yeah, like that. I don't know. I think that's pretty good. I like that. So here's our conveyor belt. Our really slow conveyor belt. Whoops. Whoa. That was the wrong one. So I think that's pretty cool. Whoops. I think there's a lot of potential for this. Especially if we add like bombs to the conveyor belts, because we did have bombs. So anybody who didn't see the bomb episode, there's a bomb right there. Whoops. What did I just click on? Okay. Anyway, there's a bomb right there. So like we can do a lot of stuff with this. Like a bomb falls on the conveyor belt. Well, that's another thing. Actually, the bomb isn't affected by the conveyor belt. I just realized. So far, Snowball is the only one that is. So I mean, we might need to make the same thing happen to the bombs. So here's the balloons again. We got balloons, we got bombs, we got conveyor belts, we've got boats and penguins and fog and temperature. So it's like there's all sorts of stuff in this game. So how are we gonna deal with the bombs? Let me bring up the bomb script, because luckily we have a bomb script. And I guess what we can do is just copy and paste Snowball's stuff in there, because it's the same concept. We need to see if it is grounded. And so obviously there's no double jump, but we want moving platforms and conveyor belts to work properly. So we also want the grounded vector to work properly. We need that. So let's see. Public void update. We can just do is grounded and then deal with Snowball's stuff. I guess it's a fixed update. And this is also a fair point. Just add this in. Whoops. If game state is not playing, they don't do anything. So we're going to need variables for standing on, of course, and conveyor. We're going to need the variable for grounded vector. Is grounded vector left and right used? What's that? Oh. Oops. Of course, has launch doesn't matter because we can't launch. It must have a rigid body. Yeah, it does. So we'll just add that in as well. Private rigid body 2D body. And we'll do public void start body equals, whoop. No. that's it. Okay. And then we need to set the grounded vector. So that's going to be, how does this work? We can just do this. Oh, we need to get the sprite. Sprite render SPR equals all this. Sprite render, all that. Okay. Really what I should just do is make a object that all these things inherit from, because I use this stuff constantly. It's like getting the rigid body. Well, I don't know. Not all of them have bodies though, but most of them have sprites. Anyway. Or maybe I could just have like a function that does it all or something like that they can just call from anywhere. Anyway. I think this ought to make it work. Except for this. So we need to actually make this a private float. Okay. Now I think it should work. And just to be sure about everything, I'm going to just place a bomb up. Actually, I'm going to move the conveyor belt down. Because why not? And we'll drop the bomb like right there. Okay, hopefully this should work. Yes, perfect. So the bombs move on the conveyor belts. So when the bomb goes in the water, the bomb should probably be put out at the very least. Well, I don't know. It should be put out, but I'm not really. That's just for looks right now. It's not really lit up or anything. I'll put that on the list though. Bomb should defuse when in water. If you make the bombs effective too, how will Snowball run into the bomb if they both move in the same direction? Yeah, they're not going to collide on the conveyor, but like they're not actually colliding. If I want the bomb to hit Snowball, then it just hits him off the conveyor belt. Like, you know, like maybe, you know, there's like a bunch of bombs coming from the left here. You know, it generates bombs from the left, and you have to like jump over them, you know. So the bombs are like consistently on the conveyor belt, and you have to like jump over them like that just to get over them or something like that. Or, you know, they keep coming down the conveyor belt and you have to kick the bomb somewhere useful, like to blow up a wall or something. So let me see what other ideas I have for the workshop level, or the workshop area. In general, I have the idea of there's going to be like a lot of rotating parts, but I already coded all that stuff from the first game, so I don't need to do that a second time. All I need to do is make the shapes that are going to rotate. I also have the idea of like flickering lights on and off, but I kind of almost already did that, because if we just do this, then the lights are off, but they don't exactly flicker. So we could try and code that. So let's add a new strip. Let's do lights. Well, no, I don't know. That's too vague. Should I call it a light controller? I guess light controller. Maybe we can do some fancy stuff. I don't know. Like, I don't know how many lights there could possibly be, but we'll do that. Because, like, what if I want more than just flickering lights? What if I want some other crazy effect? Maybe we need a light controller for that. Naturally, from a different project, I already coded how to do lightning. But I guess we can try it again for the audience at home. So, like, let's see what visual effect that we actually want first. So if we just turn the light off, then it becomes like that. Is Snowball not affected by this? Yeah, he's got his sprites default on instead of something better. Where is it? Sprites diffuse. Well. Oh, right. Well, actually, that's not even the right Snowball. Hold on a second. This ain't right. His costume should have a diffuse on it. There we go. Now he is one with the light, although I guess he looks a little bit darker now. But when the lights go out, he also goes out too. So what can we do? And I don't just want the lights to like flicker off. I want like everything to be totally dark. We had a level just like this that I had actually gotten everything to look just right. Maybe I should try and do it in that level. Did I save it as like 99? I'll save that. 98. Yeah. Okay. Okay, well, I guess we're just gonna have to deal with this. So, let's see. This looks right. Where's the light? Right here. Oh, whoops. So there is no light, I don't think, in this area. I need to find the light. There we go. Okay, then we can just turn it on and off like that. So right. Intensity goes to 0 or 1, 0, 1. Okay. So that's the idea, basically, is that it goes dark for a while and then back on, so it just alternates. So, light controller, go back here, we'll do private light, and then of course light equals this dot game object dot component light dot I guess that's it. And let's see, public bool. What should I do? Public bool flicker and public float, because there's the time that it takes, like the time that it remains on for, and there's a time that it remains off for. Maybe I'll just keep them the same number. So public float time equals maybe, I don't know, 3 seconds, just to test it out. And we'll do if light dot intensity equals 0, well, no, that's not right yet. We need to do like public bool turning lights on and private bool turning lights off. And we can set those to either one at the start of the level. And then we can do if turning lights on, then we can do light dot intensity plus equals 0 point. Well, we can do another thing, public float intensity change. That's a terrible name, but okay. And we'll set that equal 0.05f because that's going to happen really quickly. But to do that, and then we can say if light dot intensity is greater than or equal to 1, we'll say light dot intensity equals 1, turning lights on equals false, and then we'll say, actually, yeah, turning lights on equals false. The thing is, I don't want to immediately turn them off. I want to wait 3 seconds before doing that. So here's what we could do. We could do, we could call this enumerator I don't want to do that. That's not good. I don't want to do that. I was going to start a coroutine so that it would just keep calling the function, but here's what I want to do. What I actually want to do and probably should do is just make certain bools. So we'll do private float last turned on time and private float last turned off time. So what we'll do then is turn this off, and we'll do Now I'm getting kind of stuck here. This is a little confusing. If we're turning the lights on, then add to the intensity. If it's greater than 1, set it to 1. Then we want to wait. So we want to do, let's just call it next light time. So we'll do next light time equals time plus light time. Or let's call it flicker time. So this will make us wait, and then if we say if time.time is greater than next light time, then we'll do yeah, this is what I want to do. We'll do else there. No, forget that. So all I'm trying to do is make it so that it turns the lights on or off, waits for a little bit, and then it does the opposite thing that it just did. So the private bool should turn the lights on. This is a little confusing, but should turn lights on equals not should turn lights on. If should turn lights on, then turn lights on equals true, else turn lights on off equals true. Okay. Then we can just do this. If turning lights off, we'll do the same thing. And if it's less than or equal to 0, then we set it to 0, and we'll minus the intensity change. Okay. And we'll do, yeah, we have to do turning lights off equals false. So that ought to work. Delta time. Oh, wait. Okay, let's add delta time in. Well, I don't... Yeah, okay, we need delta time. Darn it. Okay, so... let's see. Intensity change times time dot delta time. Thank you for the suggestion, faithful audience member who definitely hasn't told me to do this several times in the past, and I keep forgetting. Okay. Okay, something didn't work right there. Let's see. Let's see if this works. So it looks like the intensity did change, which is interesting. Maybe I'll make these public just to see what's going on. The delta time is probably making it extremely small, and I need to make that a lot larger, the intensity change. Oh, it's turning them off and on at the same time. Yeah, okay. So we need to make that a lot larger of a number. Oh, is it working? Kind of. It's a little too fast, I think. Okay, that's really strange. Those should not be checked at the same time. Why are they both checked at the same time? Here's an idea. Turning lights off equals not turn. So basically, turn lights on should turn lights on, and then turning lights off should equal not turning lights on. So that way, it should always be different. I don't quite get it. It keeps getting stuck. Oh, I know what's going on. Shoot. We forgot to change next light time. So here's what we need to do. Let's say alternate lights. Let's call this alternate lights instead. So alternate lights. And not turning lights on, and not turning lights off. Okay. Okay, yes. Yes, we've got it. You have a variable for waiting, but are you actually waiting? Yeah, I think I just solved that. Unfortunately, the delay between your message and me reading it didn't quite work out. But yeah, so as you can see, it's bright for a little while, and then it becomes dark for a little while. So that's cool. That's a neat little thing to end it on. So we did quite a lot tonight. And I guess that's a good place to end it. We got everything working, unless there's something that I missed or something like that. But I'm pretty sure that it all works. I'll just make these variables private, because we don't need to see them out here. So probably next time I really should design those levels and get everything up to speed. So design the water levels, finish the water levels, and then move on to the factory levels. Or we can just go straight to the factory levels. I don't know. Maybe I'll feel more inspired to do the factory ones, since we've been doing all the mechanics for them today and lately. So, alrighty. Don't forget, by the way, every 5 minutes when you're watching the stream, you do actually accumulate gold bars. So if you collect enough gold bars, you can get some free stuff. So keep watching the streams, and if you find any treasure chests, open them up and hopefully I can get something working to where I can actually reward people for solving problems before I find them. Like, I think that would be really cool if I could just hit a button and give people gold bars. But anyway, so that's going to be pretty fun. Uh, so so yeah, look forward to more. So look forward to next time. So see you then.